Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and in today's video we're looking at some of the best Day 1 Descent of Dragons decks to climb the Wild Hearthstone ladder with. First up we have Mech Hunter. Mech Hunter is an extremely aggressive deck, and early in the meta you can really punish a lot of the slower, more experimental decks. This deck features Dragonbane, but it's not required, so if you don't own the card I would not recommend crafting it yet. Hold off a few weeks, see how the meta pans out. If you don't have any friends, play Secret Mage. Next we've got Mech Paladin. This features the newly printed Skyclaw, which gives you two 1/1 microcopters or two 2/1 microcopters with the Skyclaw in play. And this just gives the deck some extra reach, some extra fear. Even though it's a 1/2, it's very scary having the board buffed. And so you'll see your opponent use resources, do inefficient trades to deal with your Skyclaw. Another aggressive deck that you might want to try is Odd Paladin. This is running Bad Luck Albatross. This is hilarious, and it's actually been way better than I was expecting. The 2/1/1 Albatross that you put in your opponent's deck is really punishing for them. I also didn't realize that it disables even decks, so it disables your, an even Shaman's Merkspark Eel, which is quite valuable. And the Faceless Corrupted just helps you get some really efficient trades that you couldn't previously do with other printed minions. Now, this is our first new list. So this is Kohai's Togwaggle Priest. Kohai hit Legend with this specific build. And essentially how the deck works is it's a quest priest, and it's a very hyper-draw deck. It draws very, very quickly to draw through to King Togwaggle. So King Togwaggle, you play King Togwaggle, the battle cry swaps decks and gives your opponent a ransom spell. Now, if it was Togwaggle Druid, you could, there's a way to, as Rena, copy the hand, because everything's so cheap. We can't do that in Priest, but now Priest has Murazan the Infinite. This is an 8-mana 8/8 dragon. Battle cry, play all cards your opponent played last turn. And so basically, as soon as your opponent plays the ransom spell, you just play Murazan and swap the decks back again. And at that point, there's nothing your opponent can do. I featured several different odd rogue lists in one of my previous videos, and after testing, this one actually was the most successful. I pushed through from rank 4 to rank 2 with this Anti-Reno build. It's super Anti-Reno. It's got the double Bad Luck Albatross. It's got double Beneath the Grounds. It's got Shadowcaster to help you get some extra lower thebs if you need it, some extra Bad Luck Albatross if you want to be a jerk. And it just really punishes a lot of the greed, a lot of the experimental decks we're seeing in the early metagame. I also featured a couple even Shaman lists in a previous video. I have found that the spell damage even Shaman is the most successful. This one I've also pushed through to rank 2 from rank 3 on the EU server. But you'll notice there's a little tech in here, the Galaka Crawler. Pirate Warrior and Odd Rogue are very popular now, especially Pirate Warrior. So those Galaka Crawlers are temporary. I personally think the Pirate Warrior craze is going to phase down, but they're in there for now. If you're not queuing into too many Pirate Warriors, I would suggest replacing them with Evil Totems. Ben from work, he's a specialist in even Warlock. He hit Legend with his take on the archetype, and he's running 3 new cards. He's running Netherbreath, a 2-mana spell, deal 2 damage. If you're holding a dragon, deal 4 damage with Lifesteal instead. Now keep in mind that this can go face for lethal. And you do have dragons in this deck. You've got the Twilight Drake, you've got a Twilight Guardian, you've got the newly printed Evasive Worm, 6-mana 5/3 dragon, Divine Shield Rush, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, so this is a very valuable card to get some trades in. And it's also running Zeraku the Warped, 8-mana 4/12 dragon, whenever your hero takes damage, summon a 6/6 Nether Drake. That's pretty terrifying. This deck is built around taking damage to your face, and so you can just get some absurd value out of this. Another Warlock deck I'd like to feature is KSR's Reno Warlock. This is pretty much his stock list that he typically uses to hit high legend, but he is running 2 new cards. He's running Dark Skies, 3 mana spell, deal 1 damage to a random minion, repeat for each card in your hand. So this gives a Warlock kind of like an Arcane Missile effect, but even more powerful for 3 mana. And again, it doesn't go face though, keep in mind. And he's also running Valdress Felgorge, 7 mana 4/4, Battle Cry, increase your maximum hand size to 12, draw 4 cards. Now, I haven't tested this list myself. The Valdress Felgorge seems incredibly greedy, but it's also incredibly powerful, and it's definitely, I wouldn't recommend crafting it yet. Hold off, see what happens, but if you happen to have it, give it a run. You might have some fun with this build. And the last deck I want to feature is Hydro's Pirate Warrior. So there are lots of different Pirate Warrior variants out there. This is probably the most successful available. So it's running the Sky Raiders to help you get some random pirates in your hand. It's running the Parachute Brigands. Again, it's insane when on turn 1 you can play a pirate, pull patches, and 1 or 2 Parachute Brigands come out of your hand. And it's running Enkar, which is the new Pirate Warrior, the new Warrior legendary weapon, where after your hero attacks, draw a pirate from your deck. Again, if you do not own Enkar, I would not recommend crafting it. We got to see how things pan out, but if you happen to have it, that's great. One thing you will notice with this list is it's not running the other kind of ship's cannon card. I forgot the name of it. It's the Mech, the 3/5. My list runs it. This one doesn't. Maybe it's a bit overkill. I haven't tested Pirate Warrior enough. But if you do want to try out any of these decks, you will find them all in the description below with deck codes. And if you have any well-ranked high legend success, let me know in the comments below. Drop me a comment, and maybe you'll be featured in one of these videos as well. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watching all the way to the end of this video, and if you want to further support this channel, you can click that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment below. Until next time, hope to see you again.